Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we explore something fundamental, something often hidden beneath the surface of our daily lives, the corporeal fantasy. This is not about dismissing what you feel, but about closely examining how your experience of reality is constructed. We will delve into how your senses, your mind, and your deepest longings shape the world you know. The aim here is not to provide easy answers, but to inspire a deeper curiosity about what drives our joys, our sorrows, and our search for lasting peace. Let us begin by examining the very foundation of our experience. The existence you perceive, this world of touch, sight, and sound, is what we call the corporeal fantasy. It is not merely an abstract idea. It is a detailed, intensely personal, and ultimately illusory creation, constantly woven from the raw data of your senses. Your mind tirelessly interprets this data, and your desires relentlessly color it. This vivid, lived illusion, this subjective theater of experience, offers both fleeting pleasures and deep pains. Like any performance, it has a final act. One day, the curtain will inevitably fall. In this fundamental drama of being, humans share a stark similarity with the animal world. Animals too follow an instinct-driven script, a fierce battle for survival, the biological drive to reproduce, and the unavoidable reality of death. The uncomfortable truth is that we likely cannot grasp reality in its pure, unfiltered form. Our experienced world, everything we think we know, is built from the raw input of our senses: light, sound, texture, taste, and smell. Our brains, though incredibly sophisticated, are still biased interpreters, synthesizing these sensations into narratives, coherent or fragmented, that constitute our daily lives. Often, our conscious awareness rarely extends beyond our immediate well-being, our comforts and survival needs. This is not a judgment of human nature. It is simply an observation of our current state. It is quite simply how things tend to be. However, if we genuinely wish to increase the amount of happiness in this brief life, then understanding the underlying mechanisms, the intricate interplay of forces, becomes crucial. Be warned, dissecting these dynamics is rarely comfortable. It often means facing the fundamental nature of our being in its raw, sometimes brutal and unromanticized truth. The key to deeper and more lasting happiness lies in a penetrating, experiential understanding. Superficial fixes, such as repeating positive phrases or even meditation, while helpful as temporary supports, will not on their own bring profound change. They offer comfort and temporary relief. But what remains unexamined within ourselves and in our interaction with the world can, and often does, become a source of unnecessary suffering. And therefore, it is our responsibility to diligently strive to understand the architecture of this corporeal fantasy and, at the same time, develop the awareness and skill to navigate its complex landscape with wisdom and balance, moving toward genuine contentment. It is vital to understand what is meant by pleasure here. The addictive pursuit of sensual gratification, those short-lived bodily highs, ultimately traps us in a cycle of craving, fleeting satisfaction, and inevitable disappointment. The pleasure we speak of is something different, a deep, intrinsic joy that comes from truly being who we are, from aligning with our unconditioned nature rather than forcing ourselves into the socially acceptable molds shaped by parents, institutions, and culture. This path requires the courage to look unflinchingly at reality, to peel back the layers of ingrained conditioning, often applied with good intentions, to make us acceptable members of society. The journey to becoming who we truly are does not guarantee social approval or moral superiority, but it grants access to a profound and resilient pleasure rooted in inner freedom and authenticity. Perhaps the most pervasive and powerful aspect of the corporeal fantasy is the deeply ingrained illusion of individual centrality, the unexamined belief that we are the center of the universe, and that our well-being, needs, and fears hold exclusive importance. Every sentient being to some extent participates in this primal, egocentric delusion. It is this delusion that creates immense suffering. Animals hunt to survive. Humans, with intellect and technology, have tragically industrialized this instinct. The systematic breeding and slaughter of animals on an unimaginable scale is one example. More tragically, we inflict profound pain on each other. Wars are a stark manifestation, but the fabric of everyday life is filled with quieter harms. Envy, resentment, manipulation, power struggles, and quiet cruelties. All of these behaviors, whether grand or subtle, stem from the same root: the drive to survive and the impulse to assert that survival with maximum force. Thus, we begin with an honest, unflinching examination of our internal drives, those primal urges, conditioned reactions, and resulting behaviors. This introspective journey is neither pretty nor emotionally comfortable. It will challenge and perhaps shatter our cherished self-images. But without this work, we continue to harm ourselves, our relationships, and the world we inhabit. This central idea that we are fundamentally sophisticated but often unconscious survival mechanisms is difficult for many to accept. It challenges deeply held beliefs about free will, meaning, and our special place in the universe. Most will likely continue navigating life unconsciously, vulnerable to the whims of fate. But only through clear awareness of these hidden forces can we lessen their impact and contribute to a more harmonious existence. Nearly our entire emotional spectrum, from joy to despair, arises from the desire for continued existence. We did not choose this desire. It is our evolutionary inheritance. We feel envy when others succeed, as if their gain somehow threatens our own survival. We feel pity, a response that subtly reinforces our own stability. Both arise from the same source: the desire to exist strongly and securely. Consider our emotions: greed, to secure existence; fear, of threats to existence; hope, for a better existence; pride, validation of existence; ambition, expansion of existence; love, to enhance existence through connection; excitement, vitality; hatred, reaction to threats. All are expressions of this fundamental will to exist. This volatile emotional makeup and lack of self-understanding keeps us in chains. External events control our moods like puppet strings. Our culturally ingrained ideals often clash with reality, creating inner conflict and neurotic patterns. We seek validation, possessions, distraction, external bandages for internal wounds. These are not inherently wrong, but without understanding, they deepen dependence and obscure the truth. Liberation comes from within. Unlike animals bound by instinct, humans possess a unique capacity: reflective consciousness. We can observe ourselves, create symbols, and think abstractly. But this is a double-edged sword. It allows for self-awareness, but also the burden of knowing: mortality, uncertainty, complexity. Many who begin this path seek genuine freedom, not freedom from society or possessions, but from emotional and conceptual slavery. Wealth may ease material hardship, but often intensifies emotional bondage. Isolation offers no real escape. True freedom arises only when we can see ourselves clearly, without judgment. It takes courage to face what lies beneath the idealized self-image. But the goal is not to change or fix ourselves. That too is the ego's game. The goal is simply to see. And in that clear seeing, freedom often begins. Across different traditions, countless solutions to suffering are offered. They may vary in method, but they share a core truth. Unchecked desire is the root of suffering. When fulfilled, desire offers temporary peace. When denied, it brings agitation. We ride this emotional roller coaster, often feeling powerless. But by understanding the nature of desire, its origins, workings, and influence, we can begin to loosen its grip. This path is not easy. True transformation requires effort, discomfort, and the courage to question our most deeply held beliefs. Intellectual understanding is not enough. Real change comes only from embodied wisdom, knowledge that is lived and experienced. Books, lectures, and teachers can point the way, but only lived insight brings transformation. We must become what we understand. Live it, breathe it, courageously. To perceive beyond the seductive illusion of the corporeal fantasy is a monumental task, but it is also the most honest, necessary, and ultimately liberating journey we can undertake. If these words have resonated with something quiet and searching within you, then let them echo, let them sit with you. And if you know someone who carries the same questions, someone who wrestles with the same weight, perhaps share this with them. Not for attention, not for agreement, but as a quiet acknowledgement of the difficult, beautiful path we all walk, both alone and together. Until we meet again, may you walk your path with clarity and peace.